like I'm just like. Good evening and welcome back to Basketball New Zealand's coverage of the Aon Under-19 National Championships. We have our last game of the night here. It'll be a good one. Waikato versus Canterbury. Again, Waikato highlighted by Tall Fern Charlie Sledger-Walker, who made her debut for the Tall Ferns as a 16-year-old. Performed incredibly well, was probably one of their best players, and she's the highlight of the game, if you will. My name is Josh Davis. I am joined by Andrew Horrocks. Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Josh. Good to be with you tonight.
Andrew was an assistant coach for the Harbour Under-19 men's team, which didn't manage to quite get the win in a great game this afternoon. Andrew, how are you feeling about that?
A little bit gutted. We just didn't execute the way we wanted to, probably down the stretch, but full credit to Manawatu. They made the plays when they needed to, and that's why they got the win. That's
what you get for abandoning my under-15 team as my assistant coach. All right, Waitaha Canterbury Red. We have Amy Book, Charlotte Whitaker, Lauren Hippolyte, Shu Nisbet. Those are the highlights, and they have coach, as always, Laurie McDaniel, the female coach of the year at the latest BBNZ Basketball Awards. And on the Waikato side, the highlights, again, Charlie Sledger-Walker, Reva Walker-Pittman, Ella Bradley, and they've got a bunch of other talent as well. So got a great game ahead of us. As Canterbury come out in their black uniforms. And Waikato are coached by Anthony Corbin and Leanne Walker. They have won a great deal of titles together, and they'll be looking to add another one to their trophy cabinet over the next couple of days, but we'll see how we go here. So having a little issue with the score bench, potentially, before we get started. So the winner of this game will match up with Harbour A, who had a big win against Taranaki earlier on in our first semi-final.
What do you think both teams' key to the game is for this one, Josh? Firstly, Canterbury.
So for Canterbury, whenever you're playing against a Waikato team with Charlie Sledger-Walker in it, that's the number one thing you have to deal with. Trying to limit. The tough thing about defending her is that she's not only a great scorer, but she's also probably the most intelligent junior girls basketball player of all time, and she will make you pay for any defensive laps you make on any player. So if there's a pass, she'll make it. If there's a shot, she'll take it, probably make it. So that's something you have to deal with. And again, for Waikato, they just have to match up with a few of the Canterbury guards as well, make sure that the Amy Books and co are dealt with, and we get underway. So the ref just manages to avoid getting hit by the ball. And Waikato get it in the able hands of Charlize Lidger-Walker. Great pass there from Ella Bradley. And Waikato get on the board straight away. And Amy Book just manages to track down the loose ball. Late in the shot clock, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Turnover. Great pass.
Fantastic start here really from Waikato. They've set the pace early, already keeping Canterbury to a late shot clock situation where they got a steal.
Yeah, that's very important for Canterbury that they look to get some earlier stuff offensively. That's a good look, nice and midway through the shot clock. That's a good look, just couldn't get it to go. It's just don't get forced into those pressure situations at the end of the shot clock where it's hard to find efficient shots. And they'll look to get the ball in Charlize's hands. And just automatic. It's just she's really big for a point guard at this age as well, and really any age. So she can just use her body so well to pull up and just use her height to shoot over her defender, and it's just such a tough cover as Waikato go up 6-0 in the early going. And that was Rachel Pullen with the nice little post move. Get Canterbury on the scoreboard. Little horn set. To get a duck in for Ella Bradley, couldn't find her. Great back cut, great pass. Oh, Charlize Lidger-Walker. Potentially the first time she's ever missed a shot, but it was always bound to happen, I guess. And it might be a foul on Charlize. See how they called that one. Yep, that's one on Charlize. That's always another strategy you can employ, Andrew. Just try and get the very good player on the other team fouled out and hope that works. It's always an option.
Yeah, you really see the depth of the teams. I know a few players have tried to do that to our teams in the past, but it's a tough strategy to try and pull off.
Sure is. Amy Book turns the ball over down the other end. Daughter of 2002 world champ Tall Black legend Ed Book.
New Zealand's go to centre, hot take.
That is a hot take. Stephen Adams exists. And Charlize Lidger-Walker shows her versatility. She collects the offensive rebound and draws the foul.
Shall I adjust that to New Zealand Tall Black go to centre?
Yes. Charlize makes both those free throws. Nice spin move. Can't quite tell who that was. Rook gets her own rebound, goes up and finishes nice and strong. Good second effort from her. Good driving kick from Charlize. It was Koha Lewis. Couldn't quite get the shot to drop. Great driving kick. And Colin Matthews couldn't quite get the shot to drop.
Is that a bit of breakers trans we're seeing there, Josh and Canterbury?
You'd hope so. We are in New Zealand after all. Sacrilegious not to at least run a cheeky bit of breakers trans. I believe the foul's on Shu Nisbet. Yeah, I think that's her first.
Canterbury going to their bench early.
And Waikato knocked down both the free throws. Double screen for Amy Book. Good drive and kick, good shot.
Much better offensive set there from Canterbury. That gave them a lot of success this morning against Waitaha. The drive and kick, so hopefully they can keep replicating that.
Yeah, they've got a lot of versatile, skillful players on offense, and as we're seeing with quite a few of the teams we've played today, it really does pay dividends when every player on the court can dribble and shoot and pass. We get more issues with the moisture. Shu Nisbet couldn't quite get that to drop. Charlie's coming off those stagger screens. Aggressive driving to her left, can't get that to drop. Ella Bradley, as always, there to clean up the mess. She's got 3 seconds on the shot clock. That's a catch and shoot. Good look. Can't get it to go. That was Reva Walker-Pittman. Couldn't quite get that 3 to drop. Good catch and shoot. Good look at the end of the shot clock. And they've called a foul. Like Waikato were up pretty straight there, but foul's been called.
Coach Corbin already trying to play the moisture game on these hallowed decks of the North Event Centre.
I have been referring to it as the mecca of New Zealand basketball today. No one's called me up on that yet, so I'm going to just keep saying that with impunity until someone counteracts me with a good argument. I will be saying it.
I mean, if you look at all the great New Zealand basketball moments, they have happened here. So
a lot of them.
A fantastic call from you, Josh.
Exactly. I vividly recall watching the Tall Blacks confirm their spot at the 2002 World Champs while sitting above court 1. Later realised that I spilled Coke on the ground and I was sitting in it the whole game. That was a bad time. Anyway, Waikato looked to push the ball. Get a cheeky little horn set. Charlize being face guarded for the most part, but foul is called. So you'll see, you've seen a lot of different strategies over the years to try and counteract Charlize. Boxes and ones, triangle and twos, straight up face guarding. I haven't seen a lot of things that have worked, but got to try something, I guess. Oh, Lauren Hippolyte with the catch and shoot 3. And great pass, great cut by Charlize, but Charlize has had a few layups not quite dropping. She's frustrated.
those little breaks are going to be huge for Canterbury moving forward. If they can limit the easy looks that Charlize can get to the hoop, and hopefully if she keeps missing them like she has at the moment, it's going to give them all the chances they possibly need to stay in this game.
You want to try and take advantage of this little spot where Charlize isn't able to score. You probably want to try and... I think she stood out of bounds there. Yep. Yeah, you want to make sure you take advantage of Charlize not being quite on, because within a matter of mere minutes, she's going to be extremely on, and you're going to be extremely regretful that you weren't able to take advantage of it when she wasn't quite on form. Wow. Ariel Williams-Mackay with the step back three, calm as you like. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh no. Like I said earlier, I do not regard the moisture spots as an excuse. If you get your ankles broken, the rules of basketball state that if you fall over, you have had your ankles broken, no matter what the cause may be. Waikato forced into a late shot clock situation, but they managed to get the offensive rebound. That's killer if you're Canterbury. You need to secure those D boards.
Some nice second chance points there from Waikato.
Williams-Mackay again with the back-to-back buckets. And the right idea on the driving kick, but well read by the Waikato player. Crashed down, and Canterbury can look to get out and run here. Probably a foul. There's a nice easy look for Amy Book. That was not meant to rhyme. All apologies for that, but that was a great pass, great shot. And Charlie's just exerting her will there.
A little bit unlucky, I thought, there, Canterbury, but if you don't slide your feet, keep your hands up, the referees will punish you for it.
She's probably getting a bit of a superstar call there, Charlize, and she's probably earned it. And this will help her see the ball go through the hoop and just settle her down a little bit, ease her way into the game. She's nothing but net on those two. Oh. Helen Matthews with the sick behind the back draws the foul. And I believe that might be the 5th team foul. Maybe the 4th, so they'll inbound the ball from the baseline. Need to get a score here, Canterbury, just for their mental frame of mind going into the next quarter.
Seen a lot of teams this year across different age groups trying to utilise that cross screen for the big, but nicely covered there by Waikato.
Yep, a well-coached team. Anthony Corbin and Leanne Walker sort of take turns assisting each other, and Corbin helps out with St. Peter's and everything. So they're one of the great coaching tandems in New Zealand basketball, and that's a big three there. Williams-Mackay again, she's been coming and heated up off the bench. And that was Rachel Pullen. worked her way to the rim there to draw the foul. So if Waikato are able to secure a defensive rebound here, you'd imagine it'll be Charlize holding for the last shot down the other end, probably with a high on ball, or Canterbury will do everything they can to keep it out of her hands right now, but maybe even you don't even send another screen, you don't want to bring another defender, maybe it'll just be Charlize ISO here. She's going to go down the other end. Trusting that they'll be able to get her the ball back. Given she's being face guarded, someone's going to have to set her up with a screen. And they're even going to look for her. They're going to look for the post up. And with that, we go to the quarter time break with Waikato up 24-15. Right, so Canterbury going to the next quarter down 9. Charlize Walker hasn't heated up yet. So it's a good sign, I guess, that you may have defended her well, although she's had a few looks. Or it's just that she hasn't quite got on track yet, and which may be imminently coming, which means that the lead is about to blow out even more. So you need to make sure you stay strong in how you're defending Charlize. They've been trying to face guard her for most of the time. It'll be interesting to see if they stay with that, how they stay with it, how well it works. What else do you see as, how do you think Canterbury's going to get back in the game here, Andrew?
For Canterbury, I think you've just got to keep face guarding Charlize. They did a good job in that last position of keeping her out of it, getting the ball into someone else's hands for the last shot. We saw in the Man of the 2 Harbour game how much of a killer that a 3 in the dying seconds can be. So good job for Canterbury, and hopefully they can get some momentum going into the second quarter.
Oh, we get some cheeky breaker trans to start off with, and you know you're getting buckets out of that cheeky breaker trans.
Can you feel it, Josh?
Oh, I can feel it. What a way to start. So Amy Book has been tasked with guarding Charlize now, and they're trying to figure out a way to maybe playing her out of the post is the best way to get her the ball, and can't quite get it to go there, so well defended by Canterbury. Amy trailing, that might be a good shot. Decides not to take it. And lots of players on the court for Canterbury can drive and kick. Lots of good spacing. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And with 2 seconds on the shot clock for Canterbury to get a shot here. Oh, I think that was a 2. I believe that was Lauren Hippolyte. Much needed 24-19, so they're hanging about now, Canterbury. Again, Amy Book doing a commendable job on Charlize. And they force another player to shoot, which is your best bet if you're Canterbury, but you can't allow that turnover. Oh, there we go. Double turnover. Classic youth basketball. Amy Book with the driving kick. And they can't finish, but Waikato do a poor job rebounding. And we have a 3-point ball game. Canterbury hanging around. Charlize decides that's enough of that face guarding. I'm getting the ball now.
If you've got a player that's being face guarded, Josh, what would you be trying to do to get them the ball? Sit in the post like they've done with Charlize, or just try and run normal offense?
It really depends. I mean, I think, yeah, the post option for her is good. She's got that skill set in her repertoire. I mean, you can make sure your girls or your players are aware of setting off-ball screens for her and just maybe find Charlize on, if she's being fronted one way, maybe you can find her in back cuts in certain situations. But yeah, I think the post option is still a way to go. I think we will get to the point where we invariably get up to in a game like this where Charlize will, like she did the last possession, just decide I'm going to get the ball now, and then it'll be panic stations. But it remains to be seen. Canterbury's done a great job so far.
Also a little shot of local celebrity Gary Williams in the background. Shot to fame during the World Masters Games 2017.
Father of trash basketball player Guy Williams and lovely young man Paul Williams. It's a real boon for us to have such a celebrity sighting. Oh, great drive by Shun Nisbet. Looked like there was a bit of contact. We'll get the ball back anyway. Then they look to get that screener action. Good drive, good kick. Great box out. Nice move. Oh, great pass. Ella Bradley diving to the rim. Who's the passer? That was Casey Leaf, I think, number 10. Great drive, and then she saw Ella Bradley rolling to the rim. That was a great look. Ella Bradley calmly knocks down free throw. Good high on ball there for Amy Book. Just to free her up a little bit. Great aggressive drive. Can't quite tell what number she is, but that was a great aggressive drive to the rim. I believe that was Sophia Kennedy on the drive, so kudos to her. Ella Bradley just calmly knocks down the set shot from the netball circle.
Timeout here for Canterbury.
So again, Canterbury will just be thinking they're in a good spot right here. They've done well on Charlize so far. They need to make sure they stay diligent and vigilant, not let her break through the shackles. Offensively, they're getting some good looks out of the drive and kick stuff, so keep being aggressive off the dribble, keep drawing extra defenders, drive, kick, take your layups if you get the opportunity. That's working really well so far for Canterbury, and I'm sure that's what Coach Laurie McDaniel will be talking about with her girls. What do you think the talk is in the Waikato timeout there, Andrew?
I think Coach Corbin, he might just be looking at different ways they can get Charlize the ball, making sure that other players are rotating through. We saw a few times on the post-up where they were quite stagnant. Just tried to rotate the ball to her and didn't have really any other options that were coming out of it.
Yeah, and I think making sure that they are, and they've done quite well, when Charlize is getting all the attention defensively, people like Ella Bradley have made good cuts into space to make sure that they keep the rest of the defense honest, and I think the rest of the team will be a big key in helping Charlize out, so keep taking those opportunities. Getting some more breaker trans. Surely there's a basket coming here. Unbelievable.
That's actually the first time someone hasn't scored out of breakers trans in the history of its offense. I believe it's at 10 years now since it was first seen. Coming, of course, out of Breakers legend coach Andre Lemanis.
Who stole it from Nene Vucinic, who stole it from someone else in Europe, allegedly. But good coaching is stealing for the most part, so do what you got to do. Charlize with the step through, banks the long two.
For Canterbury, there's not a lot you can do about that.
No, and that's a dubious foul call there. Like Ella Bradley got a clean steal, but I guess she may have had a bit of contact with the other hand on the back of the defender. But yes, there's not much you can do when Charlize is hitting shots like that. But can't get that shot to drop off. Little screen away action. Oh, Ella Bradley with the baseline driving the gorgeous bounce pass. I think that was Casey Leaf again. Great chemistry between those two. They've sort of collaborated on two really great cuts and drives and drop-offs. Ella Bradley showing off her versatile offensive skills. Oh, another great cut by Casey Leaf. She has a great understanding of when to cut on dribble penetration, and she's got herself open on 3 great cuts so far.
Much better that second time around from Canterbury, stopping all driving lanes, making it difficult for the kick-out pass, and that leads to an easy bucket in transition.
Oh, again, Ella Bradley to Casey Leaf. Couldn't quite get it to go, but they have incredible intuition there on those back cuts. Late shot clock, gonna have to shoot here, Amy Book. And they're gonna keep playing. That wasn't, again, being forced into those late shot clock opportunities is not ideal. Charlize is just being patient, moving the ball. She's not forcing anything at the moment. Ella Bradley for 3, can't get it to drop. Casey Leaf has made a great impact off the bench with cutting and offensive rebounding. And again, and the long 2 drops. Reva Walker-Pittman, and that'll be a timeout for Canterbury.
Canterbury here with 2 quick timeouts in this quarter. Obviously, Coach McDaniel not very happy with what she's seeing out there.
No, and I think your timeouts in the first half are usually, I believe, to be used for momentum purposes and just to address certain things. If you're lucky, you can keep them in your back pocket to run a play. If everything's going well, maybe your team has an inbound on the baseline and you can take a timeout to draw something up. But a lot of the time, they are useful to arrest momentum when the other team goes on a bit of a run, or when you see things that you need to address within your team, whatever that may be. And I think Laurie's used those really well to start off with in the half here. So I agree with her decision making on those two. Just want to take a moment to shout out to any of my haters who have messaged me saying I've done a bad job on this commentary. You may be exactly right. Oh, tough finish there. I believe that was Helen Matthews. No, Rachel Pullen, sorry. A tough finish. All congested. Charlie still well to catch that. In and out on the 3 there from Williams Mackay. Great box out from Charlize and Casey Leaf there. And the offensive foul was called. I think that was Casey Leaf. Great finish there from Helen Matthews on the spin move. Gets to the front of the room for the nice finger roll. Canterbury hanging about. 35-31 now. Crucial that they get some stops to end the half here. Keep that momentum going into the second half. Oh, tough move there from Zanae Hertig. Uh-oh. Well, almost a dime from the ground. Tough move to the rim. Couldn't get it to go.
You've got to be happy, though, if you're Canterbury. You're starting to get to the rim a little bit easier. Get some nicer looks. And if they keep falling down, they're going to stick around in this game.
Oh yes, the highlight of the day so far. We've got another damp spot removal.
Referee Hamish obviously rates himself as a bit of a moppet.
It's incredible hustle. We've seen Tessa doing a lot of the hard yakka as per usual. It's good to see some other people chipping in for once. Again, stops of the order of the day here. Amy Book's done a great job fronting Charlize on the post there. And Koha Lewis again with the 3. That's a big one. Canterbury might want to look to get a 2-for-1 here. Probably left it a bit late. high dribble, but effective, gets through the defense. Might want to shift the ball here. Good cut, good pass. There we go.
Much better from Canterbury, getting an off-ball cut there, which they haven't really had. And a nice, easy 2 points.
The Waikato defense is very aggressive, lots of denial, and it's a great way of defeating that. And I believe there was a foul call in the very last play. We have 0.1 of a second left. Sane Hertig will go to the free throw line. See if you can stretch the lead out a little bit more.
Bit of a coach killer, that one.
Oh, yeah. She calmly knocks down the first free throw. And the second. I believe there's 0.1 of a second left, or they may have just called half-time. I think they have. They have just called half-time. So at half-time, we have a lead for Waikato, 40-33. All right, so the score is 42-33 to Waikato. We'll be right back after a short break.
In New Zealand, female basketball is a sport on the rise. The journey for our girls starts from a young age. This is where we ensure our players learn the fundamentals of our great game. As the journey continues, the pathways available become more transparent. The WBC is the pinnacle of our domestic game. Go head to head with your peers and battle it out on the court for the title of National Champion.
They're really good. Did you know they do scholarships for basketball?
Stay involved and play for the love of the game with your friends and family, or strive to be the best you can.
Play for the Tall Ferns, our national team. We strive to be the best, and we're proud of what we've achieved. Basketball is an Olympic sport, and we now have over 200,000 female players in New Zealand. But we want more. We are women.
We are basketball.
And it's never too late.
I want to talk about the under-15 national side.
And welcome back to the North Shore Event Centre, the mecca of New Zealand basketball, as we have Waikato with the 42-33 lead. Thank you to our sponsors, Aon, who sponsor all our national representative tournaments. They do a great job.
Don't forget to pre-order your under-19, under-17, under-15 merch now for the 2018 Aon Nationals. Obviously, Josh, looking forward a little bit. Under-15 Nationals, your boys team, the top seed from Zone 1. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, pretty happy. We've done reasonably well over the last few months and then at the national qualifiers last tournament to lock in that #1 seed for the Northern Zone. But we know there are a number of really good teams, and under-15 Nationals is always a bit of a wild card. You don't know as much about all the other teams as you would for your 17s and 19s Nationals. So it's a fun tournament, and we'll keep working hard and see how we go. now that we're not shackled by your assistant coaching, we may have a legit chance to go all the way. We'll see how that goes, though. So let's look at the strategy for this game, Andrew. Canterbury, same old, same old. Keep doing what you're doing. Do you need to adjust anything? What's the strategy here?
I think if you're Canterbury, you probably want to look a little bit more off-ball movement, especially on the weak side. Can we get some cutters in? Can we get some where there's weak help side defense, get to the hoop, get some easy buckets, you know, just take the pressure off your pick and rolls, your ball reversals. And I think that's what they basically do. Defensively, they're doing all right. To hold Canterbury to 42 and a half, Waikato to 42 and a half, you've got to be happy with that. What about for Waikato, Josh? What are your keys to the second half?
Again, they have so many players who have played in big games, both at rep level, international level, school level, secondary school, nationals. So they're not going to be, you know, phased by what they're facing right now defensively. Like they've handled it well. They're still up 9 points. They have, I wouldn't say a comfortable lead, but they've earned a nice little cushion there, and I think they'll just keep calmly going about their business. If Canterbury were to go on a run, I think they're in a good enough mental space where they will be able to counteract that. So, I mean, the pressure feels to me all on Canterbury here. They need to, this quarter will be massive. They need to make sure that the lead doesn't really balloon any more than this. You don't necessarily need to get it all back in this quarter, but you'd ideally like to ensure that it's no larger than the lead is currently. So we get underway here. Waikato start on offense, and we'll start out with a horn set. And turn it over straight away. Canterbury will look to push it and get into their offense. We're interested to see what they start off in. We'll look to go get that wing on ball screen for Amy Book. She might be able to, looking to attack Charlize. I think we've got a mismatch inside, but she deals with that capably, Amy Book. And we have a shot clock violation. So again, we're getting forced into late shot clock shots, and we know that it's harder to find an efficient shot late in the shot clock. So you really want to try and get good offense nice and early so that you're not leaving yourself trying to get a shot off in 5 seconds under pressure. Good cut there by Ella Bradley, and she was bumped on that by Helen Matthews. And a great little curl screen there on the inbounder, and Charlize with a precise bounce pass. Can't be giving up too many of those easy opportunities. You've got to make sure your defense is solid. You make sure you're talking on those off-ball actions. And Canterbury couldn't get a good look off. Well, they got a decent look early in the shot clock. You can live with that. Need to start converting some of those. Ella Bradley thinks she can go to work here. Looks for the step through, and she can go to work. Great step through into her left hand. Little punch screen. And stepped out of bounds, and you're in dangerous territory here already. Minute and a half into the quarter, and it leads out to 13. Started off at 9.
Fantastic job by Coach Colvin. A lot of help defense there from Waikato, walling up and really making those driving lanes difficult for Canterbury.
Yeah, exactly right. He's a very experienced coach. Oh, and a great cut there by Charlize. The lead's ballooned out to 15. Dangerous times here for Canterbury. Looking inside for Amy Book.
Much better job there by Canterbury. Instead of just looking for the dribble penetration, they're trying to see how they can get the ball inside a little bit easier and get the foul call.
Canterbury go back to dribble penetration. They get a good look out of it. Can't convert it. And another good box out from Casey Leaf. She's been great on those little intangibles, the loose balls and rebounds and cuts. And they might have called Ella Bradley for the hook there. Yep, they've called Ella Bradley. She used her arm to hook around the defensive player, and that was a good call there by the referee. Side to Shu Nisbet. Oh, great turn, great pivot, great footwork. Oh, tough finish from Williams Mackay. We're out to 50-35. The stray basketball from another court interrupts play. Great use of the on ball, and one.
If you're Canterbury, you've got to be a lot happy with your last couple of possessions. They're getting to the hoop. They're getting far better looks, and that's what they're going to need to try and cut down this 13-point deficit that's been created early in the third quarter. Got to be happy with that if you're Canterbury. No ball movement, early three. Gives them another chance to chip into this lead.
Yep, you take that, that's for sure. A little bit of pressure here. Interesting to see how Canterbury handles this. A bit of pressure to see if they could generate a turnover off the inbound and then just settle back to man after that. Again, Canterbury need to be aggressive on the drives, and one. It looked like it might have been an offensive foul. There was a lot of action with the offhand. They're pushing off, but I'm not going to be complaining about that if you're Canterbury. That's a good aggressive take.
Nice little momentum swing here for Canterbury. Coach Corbin making a change.
And you always need these little momentum swings in a game of basketball just to eat away at leads. It's a funny old sport, and you can start feeling the pressure when the other team goes on a bit of a run. And Canterbury will be really hoping that they can keep pushing on here. Cut it from 15 to 10, sorry, 15 to 9. So they'll look to keep chipping away, and that's, yeah, the help defense needs to be better there. Low help, didn't rotate over, and gave up an easy look at the rim. And looking to be aggressive with the spin and the floater. That's a lovely touch on that finish. Another great cut and great pass. Just unlucky, and Corbs wanted a foul call on that one. Nothing coming from the refs though. Owen Matthews will look to break her play down off the dribble again. Hitting her with the saucy crossover. Can't get the finish to drop, but nice move and good look at the rim ultimately.
Little horn set there from Waikato. Trying to get Charlize back in the post, but great job denying that.
Yeah, Amy's done a really good job on that. And Looked like most of the contact was in the chest there. Amy Booker feel aggrieved on that one, but probably shouldn't have let the offensive rebound go to Charlize. That's really what led to that. So got to box out, got to finish your stops with box outs and defensive rebounds. Charlize misses front rim on the free throw.
As the towel makes another appearance in this match.
The towel is the greatest recurring character of this event so far today. Hope to see you down there with the towel in the 3rd and 4th place playoff tomorrow, Andrew.
You will absolutely not see me doing that.
That's a shame. Help your community out. Typical Shore attitude. Amy Brooke potentially gets away with a carried ball on that spin move. Oh my goodness. Oh. I don't quite know what happened there, but it looked cool and the ball went in the hoop. So that's good. That's good basketball.
That's what you need if you're Canterbury. Just a little bit of luck just to go your way.
Absolutely. Ratcheting up the defensive pressure a little bit. And again, they're just being a little late on their rotations. They're getting picked apart on cuts and just poor help defense at times. Be right back in the game, Canterbury, if they got rid of some of those issues. Oh, the pass fake. Couldn't get it to go.
Back into a horn set, trying to get Charlize there. Rotates the ball around.
She's showing no qualms with sharing the ball, is she, Charlize? And that's a good look late in the shot clock. Oh, great pass, great cut, good basketball. She just kind of shows those flashes, Charlize, where when she wants to, she can kind of get wherever she wants on the court. She's not forcing anything, she's just picking her spots, and she's just got such a wise head on her shoulders. She's such a young woman, such a young player of any level. She's just so composed.
Great patience there by Waikato. Finally got the look that they wanted late in the shot.
Oh, and a turnover. Oh, that's a killer for Canterbury. Might want to try and put your foot on the throat if you're Waikato. Might want to try and get some more turnovers. Back-to-back baskets like that. It's such a killer, though, for Canterbury. And Charlize with the steal.
Coach McDaniel could be looking for a timeout shortly as this continues.
Little, dare I say, dream shake into the fadeaway jump shot.
What doesn't she have?
She's got the full repertoire. And that's a good aggressive drive to just settle your team down a little bit.
That's what you need if you Canterbury, just an opportunity just to settle the troops, make both your 3 throws and then set up your defense, hopefully for another stop and then another opportunity to come to this lead.
Exactly. Ideally, you want to be within single digits going into the next quarter, so anywhere around 12 would be ideal at this point. So stops are the order of the day here. Great step-through move there from Koha Lewis, I think it was. She's hit a couple of threes already and then show that she's still able to go off the dribble.
Seeing a lot of balanced scoring here from Waikato. Ledger Walker leading them with 14. You've then got Leaf with 10, Lewis with 7, Walker Pittman with 6, Bradley with 9.
And Williams Mackay off the bench with 12 as well. And you know, Charlize Ledger Walker, for as well as Canterbury's done on her, she still has 14.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. She stuffs the stat sheet. Great step through move. No foul call. There's a whistle on another court. Waikato could almost ice the game away with a couple of really good possessions either side of the ball here.
Five on the shot clock.
Extra pass. She knew it was off.
Once again, those second chance opportunities are just killing Canterbury a little bit.
Yep. They need to really take care of those, and you know, you do all that effort to get a stop and then you can't secure the defensive rebound is a real killer.
It's now 13 offensive rebounds for Waikato.
Got 10 seconds on the shot clock now. They're in another horn set. They're probably going to free up Charlize. Thought about the shot. Great drive kick. And they couldn't get the shot to drop. Surely it's not a shot clock violation. Canterbury secured the ball. Could have been a travel, and it was. And you'd be frustrated if you're Canterbury. It probably should have been adjudicated a shot clock violation. The ball didn't hit the rim. That stops the game. You get to inbound the ball calmly, but instead you turn the ball over on a travel and transition. That's a bit of a dagger, and you wouldn't be shocked if Waikato go for a 2-for-1 here. Run out of time for that, but they'll just try and find the best available luck in the remaining 12 seconds they have on the shot clock. That'll do it. That will do it. Koha Lewis again with the 3. Canterbury rushing up the court. Probably want to hold for the last shot here. And that's what they'll do. 8 seconds left on the clock now. Nice little handoff. Great defense from Waikato. Look to push the ball. Charlize from halfway. Surely that's going in. Unreal. So as we end the third quarter, we have the score at 67-47 to Waikato. Andrew, what's the chat in the timeout here for Canterbury?
If you're Canterbury, the first 3 minutes, you've really got to start pushing the pace. You want to try and get it to win probably 12 points with 7 minutes. That way you can manage it a little bit more. And then it's all about stops for them. Stops and boxing out. Anytime they've given Waikato second chance opportunities, they've really been punished for it.
Do you start off the quarter pressing, trying to get turnovers and generate more possessions, or do you maybe try and play relatively straight up for the first few minutes and then see where you're at after that? What would your thinking be?
I would start in the press, but you've got to mix it up. Once they get used to what you're trying to do out of that press, they're just going to start living with it. So you've got to keep mixing up what you're trying to get out of it and trying to force them into some more difficult looks and late shot clock opportunities.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be shocking to see Canterbury come out in a press here. It's probably what Coach Laurie McDaniel's drawing up now. It's a big deficit to come back from. 20 points, so yeah, you need to try and generate extra possessions for yourself. Speed the game up a little bit, more possessions, and see how you go. But again, like we alluded to earlier, Waikato is so comfortable and resilient, and you know, they're measured in these situations. They've been battle tested. They're not gonna fold under this pressure. You wouldn't expect, not with a tall Fern running the point for them. So again, yeah, it's a really tough spot for Canterbury to be in. But again, if you're Waikato, again, just keep doing what you're doing. Measured pace, take your opportunities when they come. No need to rush, but potentially lots of chances to exploit Canterbury's press, particularly if they're not used to pressing all season. There might be a lot of gaps in their press and easy opportunities for you to extend the lead. So we've still got 66-47 on the big scoreboard. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but we'll go off that. Oh, and a nice little step through move, Schooners, but couldn't get it to drop and start the half. Oh, sorry, to start the quarter, you really need that to drop. Get it to Charlize at the elbow, hand off. Amy Book doing a great job face guarding Charlize. Koha Lewis. Another three, automatic. Another dagger in the hearts of Canterbury. Pass. Amy Book's been relatively quiet offensively, having to put in a lot of effort to face guard Charlize Leger-Walker. She's had 6 points and 6 rebounds. But maybe they need to get a bit more offense from her. Potentially she's a bit gassed from having to exert so much energy guarding Charlize. But I mean, that shot didn't manage to drop, but having all these shooters around Charlize makes it so much easier. You can't all help on Charlize when you've got the Koha Lewises of the world who can knock down that three at a consistent clip. And giving the ball to Waikato. Yeah, I think they're going to change the call. I think it was blocked onto the basketball supports. So it'll be Canterbury ball. That's a good decision there from the referees.
Still 12 seconds on the shot clock, so a lot of time for them to work the ball around and get the shot that they want.
So down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. And they get a three, a little bit contested. Oh, great pass from Charlize. Fortunately, Zane Hertig couldn't quite keep a hold of it, but it's another example of the court vision of Charlize Leger-Walker.
Back comes the towel.
That's some phenomenal, look at that. That's a great effort by the young referee. Notice his form chucking the towel off the court has been a bit lacking so far. We'll see how he goes with this one. May have learned his lesson, might just hand it off. Oh no, that was a clean chuck off the court. You've got to commend him for that. He's learned from his previous mistakes. Great effort. So again, quick looks that are as good as possible for Canterbury. That'll count. They bank in the three. I think it was Rachel Pullen on the bank shot. The bank is open on public holidays at the Mecca.
That's what he wanted as Canterbury. A little bit of luck there just to try and get a little run going. Chip back into this league and made magical for the last 5 minutes.
That's exactly right. And the Waikato look for Charlize. Contact, not cool. Gets the offensive rebound, good pass. Good look for Ella Bradley. Canterbury need to push and transition in these moments, see what they can get. Amy Book goes to work. Oof. Charlize thought she kept it in there.
Canterbury a little bit confused about who's going to inbound, but
drive. Surely that was a foul. She was moving there. Jana Hertig. So that'll be 2 free throws. Stop the clock, get some free points. Let the clock stop. That's part of the plan.
That's Lauren Hippolytes' first miss from free throw line. She's now 7 from 8. Waikato just calmly moving the ball around. Not forcing anything, making sure that they get the shot that they want.
Long 2. They get the offensive rebound. That's a killer. Amy Book gets a good tip on it. But again, just extra possessions that Waikato are getting is not ideal for Canterbury. Good cut by Charlize, but shouldn't need to throw it there. It's a good. Oh. Yep. Waikato ball. Canterbury player jump back from out of bounds. Comedy of errors there. And we'll have a timeout, I believe, for Canterbury as they look to reset. This is the point where you try and set up a concerted effort to press here and see how you go. So again, I don't know how effective that can be against a Charlize Ledger-Walker led team, but at this point you've got nothing left to lose and you've got to use one of those timeouts to try and reset.
That is a tough one, trying to change the pace against the most composed point guard, potentially in the country.
Yes, potentially any age. So yeah, great balanced scoring effort for Waikato. Charlize Ledger-Walker with 14. Koha Lewis has been huge with 2 threes, 14 points. Casey Leaf with 10. Ella Bradley with 9 to go with 4 assists. And you also have Williams Mackay as well off the bench with 12 big points, 2 threes. So again, yeah, 4 people in double figures, 1 player on 9. That's ideally how you want to be balancing your scoring. On the Canterbury side of the ball, Lauren Hippolyte is 22 points, and then the next highest is Shu Nisbet on 8. So again, haven't quite been able to get contributions from everyone.
I think the biggest that you're going to be happy about if you're Coach Corbin is 15 offensive rebounds compared to 3.
Yep. Yeah, if you win the rebound margin by that much, it's very hard to lose the game, really, and it's been a massive key to the game. Amy Book might look to be a bit more aggressive here, but again, she's got Charlize Ledger-Walker guarding her. They'll just switch that nice and easy. And the 3 won't drop for Helen Matthews. Waikato will be very happy to just walk the ball up the court, drain some clock, keep the ball in the hands of the best player on the court. Great pass to the corner. Koha Lewis does not miss. She has got my official does not miss designation, the first one of the day. She is automatic from the perimeter, and again, a great look from Charlize Ledger-Walker, seeing the defense has collapsed and finding a teammate in the corner. Great hustle there.
Takes a special player to get the does not miss designation from Josh Davis. Obviously, we had Thomas White in last year's final, and probably Max de Geese in last night's quarterfinal could have been given that.
Absolutely.
He had 10 threes in their big win, and they've got the final tomorrow against Manawatu.
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Canterbury versus Manawatu. 2 really well-coached teams, really experienced for the age group. They've got good experience in big games, lots of talent. That'll be a great game. And then our final tomorrow, Harbour versus likely Waikato. That'll be another great game as well. So 2 really great finals for us tomorrow afternoon. Great little drop-off pass to Charlize, and that looked like a lot of ball there. Casey Leaf calmly knocks down the first free throw. Extend the lead out to 24. Can't get the second one to drop. Long kick ahead pass. Wow. Lauren Hippolyte, I believe, with the three. She's carrying a lot of the load offensively. Bit long on the shot, and that's a shot clock violation there.
Yeah, Coach Corbin, though, you won't be too distressed at that. Obviously wasting another 24 seconds of valuable time for Canterbury off the clock.
Yeah. We're in a very advantageous position here. There'll be no stressing from Anthony Corbin, although coaches do tend to stress, so maybe you'll still find something to stress about. But it would take a very remarkable turn of events to even get us to a close finish, and it's a great drive there by Ariel Williams-Mackay. So it's really been the key for Waikato has been that supporting cast. Lauren Hippolyte has done a great job on her own, 25 points on 12 field goal attempts. But she just haven't quite had enough scoring support, whereas Charlize Ledger-Walker is on 16 points currently, but she's had Koha Lewis on 17, Casey Leaf on 11, Ella Bradley 9, Williams-Mackay on 12, now maybe 13. That's just been the difference in the game, just a bit more help from the supporting cast. Amy Book looks to put up a three that doesn't draw any iron. Sorry, we're just going through some brief technical difficulties. And we're back live.
So Josh, looking ahead to tomorrow's final, obviously Harbour have already booked their place. If you're going up against them, how would you deal with the interior presence of Rashawn Smith?
Again, that may be a case of being selective with your double teams, finding players you can help off. But again, it was just those short bursts that Rashawn came in for in their semi-final game, where she was just able to dominate for 2-3 minutes at a time and then go get some rest and then come back into it. So I think the guards are also another thing to counter as well. Tessa Talo Tomokino again had a great game. Taylor Dalton, Jordan Maddox, those are the keys for Harbour really, and I think Waikato match up very well obviously with the guards that they have. But again, I think it may be the supporting cast. As long as that lady right there has some help, they will be quite all right. But again, just reminding us that she's good at basketball. It was a good reminder. We didn't really need it, but it's nice to get one every once in a while. Sorry about that previous interruption. Just had a quick power outage here, but we should be all good now. Yes, looking forward to that final tomorrow, Andrew. Who do you like in that game? What's your hot take?
I don't like betting against Charlize. But as a local man, it is good to see Harbour in the final. Unfortunately, the boys couldn't join them, much to my personal sadness, but
the Andrew Horrocks curse strikes again.
Oh, it's going to be the first time this year, though, hasn't it?
Charlize just uses that brute strength. Probably want to dime. They'll probably want to get the key players out now. They've locked up their place in the final. You probably want to get some rest. although they do have a full day to prepare for that game, so may not be a massive concern.
What about you, Josh? What are you thinking? Obviously, you've got 2017's Under-19 Girls Champions in Waikato looking for the back-to-back, and then the Under-17 champions from Harbour who brought a lot of that squad into this year's championships.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they've done really well with those bottom ages at Harbour. They have a lot of bottom ages, but they've all had that national championship winning experience as Charlize drops another dime. Again, like you said, it's hard to bet against Charlize Ledger-Walker. She's a winner, and winners win. That's my hot take of the day. So, I mean, I think Harbour has a chance. They've got a great squad. They're really well coached. But if I had to take a pick, I would find it very hard to go against Waikato. Also, looking ahead to the boys' final, I know this may be a bit raw after the emotion of the buzzer-beating loss earlier. Manawatu versus Canterbury. Obviously, Canterbury were probably the hot favourites coming into the tournament. What are your thoughts around that final tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you've got to go Canterbury as the favourites. Obviously, Manawatu very, very well coached by Miles Pearce. They've done a fantastic job, especially from the supporting cast, supporting the likes of Oscar Oswald, making sure that he doesn't have to do it all himself. Whereas for Canterbury, they won their semi quite comfortably, but you'd hope that Max de Geest isn't going 1 for 12 from the three-point line. I don't think that happens very often.
I don't think that's ever happened, because I don't think Max de Geest had ever missed prior to today, in my humble opinion. No, you're exactly right, and I think, yeah, Canterbury were the favourites coming in. You know, Manawatu have showed today that they have great talent and experience, and they're well coached by Miles Pearce, so you don't want to count them out. This age group, this group has won at the under-15 tournament earlier on in their basketball careers, so they know how to win. But Canterbury just have a lot of talent and versatile skill. But I don't think it'll be a blowout by any means. I think Manawatu has a real chance, but I would still pick Canterbury as my favourite.
I think one interesting thing to look for in that final is Manawatu pool play quarterfinals. They played a lot of 2-3 zone. They went man-to-man a lot against Harbour, so it'll be interesting to see what they're looking at trying to do to counter the likes of Max Darling, whilst trying to keep the high hand of Max de Geest quiet.
That's exactly right. Oh, Nicolaides just drops another three from the car park, as Jason Costigan would say. She's had a great performance in a losing effort here. Nice little cut, Casey Leaf. She's so adept at that. Yeah, so we have two great final matchups ahead of us tomorrow. From the Mecca, the NSECA as we like to call it. This is becoming popularised on social media. Real grassroots movement to get behind the North Shore Event Centre as the Mecca. Shout out to Andrew Price.
Andrew Price, obviously a big fan of the NSEC on Twitter.
He loves it. He can't stay away. It's the parquet courts. Look at them. They're beautiful. The different shades of brown. Oh, marvellous. And there we have it. Waikato pull out the win, 92-59. They will go on to meet Harbour A in our national final tomorrow night. Another great effort from Corbs and the gang. And we'll see them in a great final tomorrow afternoon.
I think a special mention is going to be made to you, Josh. Obviously putting in a Trojan effort. All 4 semi-finals, 3 by yourself.
I think the phrase Herculean effort has been thrown about a lot, mainly by myself, but it's spot on. I've gone a little bit insane up here talking to myself for 7 hours, but I've only had a few 15-year-olds complain about how bad I am at commentating, so can't be that bad. But yeah, loved it. Great day of basketball, great tournament, great job from Harbour Basketball hosting it, and we have our schedule for tomorrow on the live stream. We'll have the 5 through 8, the 5th and 6th playoff, followed by the women's 3rd and 4th, men's 3rd and 4th, and then the big guns. Women's grand final from 3 p.m, men's grand final from 4:45. So we're here all day from 9 a.m. right through to those two big finals. So we'd love if you tune in. It's going to be a great day of hoops. And so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for our finals.
Telfern's culture is absolutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it.
We're always underdogs, we always fight really hard. It's always an honour playing for the privilege to wear the jersey.
It's always just a tight-knit group of girls who fights on every possession. We're often undersized, but I don't think we've ever been outplayed in terms of heart and desire. So when I think of Telferns, that's what I think of.
The Telferns is a family. It's not just about the wins and the losses and the competition, but coming to see the up-and-coming players. I just feel so connected with them, just being from the same country. We get on so well, and it's a great connection I have with the girls.
The grit and the fight that the Telferns have, come in as the underdog and compete with these world champs and have no fear in their eyes, and they just take on anyone that comes in their path. It's something that I was really excited to be a part of.
I joined the Telferns in 2008, before the Olympics, and that to date might be the best experience of my life. It also opened up a whole international basketball experience for me. I'd never thought of playing professionally after college, and we got to go up against the best teams in the world, Team USA, China, Spain, the Czech Republic. Yeah, the Telferns really just showed me that there's basketball out there besides what's in America and what I was used to.
I think if I was to give any advice to young aspiring basketball athletes, especially females, it would be to work really hard, and if it's something that you love, then go for it. The world is your oyster, and especially in terms of basketball, you can do so many things with it. You can go so many places, and going to college, playing professionally overseas. It's definitely a career option for women now, and that's amazing. You know, follow your dreams definitely, but you need to work really hard at it, and if you're really passionate about it and you really care and you really love it, then you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.